most of the people in the XRP community, obviously there's been some crazy theories out there and other things like that. I think most people have been extremely consistent with the very simple premise that blockchain technology is important. The XRP ledger is made for financial institutions, and eventually the financial system as we know it today will have to be upgraded via the internet, and the company that is working with the financial institutions and making it easy for them to adopt blockchain technology, well, those companies and the specific blockchains that those companies lead the institutions to are likely going to be big winners in the grand scheme of things. I think at its most simplest basis, right? That is the thesis behind the XRP ledger. Well, guys, earlier today, we got huge validation on the other side of this entire thing that I think, in my opinion, puts to bed the idea that large banks aren't interested in using XRP, because we just had one of the largest banks in the entire world, Deutsche Bank, put out a notice specifically saying that they are focusing on XRP infrastructure. Now, this announcement is in Dutch, it was translated, but I just wanted to share with you the original post first, because what we can see is this is not Ripple, this is not RLUSD, this is specifically XRP infrastructure. Now, this is a paradigm shift that I'm not sure people are really appreciating how big this is. Deutsche Bank is not some small bank, right? This is a bank with over 1 trillion under management. 1 trillion. And guess what? They are directly working with Ripple to take advantage of XRP, in their own words, XRP infrastructure. What this means is so much bigger than I think a lot of people can truly conceptualize. What this means is it validates some massive things we have been talking about for an extremely long time. One, that financial institutions are going to use blockchain technology. I think essentially at this point, there's no one saying at this point that that's not going to happen. For a long time, that was a big debate. Are they going to even use this technology? I don't hear people even making that argument anymore. But the more important point that it validates was one that, once again, and I always try to be very clear about this, one that I was really making as a theory or a thesis, right? My theory or my thesis, and I actually, perfect timing. You guys are going to see the coincidence of this right now. Just the other day, I put out this chart where Deutsche Bank was literally one of the banks in the infographic that I created to show why the XRP ledger was going to win. And this announcement that we just saw in a Deutsche Bank validates this more than anything we could have ever seen. What this shows is this theory, right, that Ripple has been pushing and that I have thought was going to be the thesis that wins out in crypto,